Hey Anthony, here is your demo video for your Korbanth Desert Wanderer. So let's just kind of go over the hilt a little bit here first. So here is the hilt itself. The hilt is, I'm a real big fan of this hilt. I'm also a big fan of the weathering job that was done on it. So you've got a 2-button setup here. Got the sticker, the plate attached here for you for the control box. So this saber comes with 2 different pommels and 2 different emitter caps, okay? So let's go over the first one. So this emitter cap is your show cap. It's got the blade plug in here. You're not gonna be able to use a blade with this particular lens clamp. This is just for show. Then you've got this pommel, which has the vents in there for better sound. And this is the pommel insert that you can remove this vented one, put this in there for a more accurate look. If you want to use a blade, this is the emitter cover that you're going to use. And I'll use this in a little bit, pop a blade in here and show you how that works. So again, this is a 2-button setup. This is going to be your activation button, and this is your auxiliary button. So to turn on the saber, you're going to unscrew the pommel. Okay, that's going to come off like this, and we're just going to slide this chassis out. Okay, here is your chassis. So let's go over this real quick. You got the shtox neopixel emitters here. You've got 2 accent LEDs on either side of this crystal chamber, and you'll see that when it lights up. You've got your proffie board, your tactile switches here, your smugglers outpost speaker. So everything's installed, worked really well. I went on ahead and added this little battery wrap for you. I just think that looks cooler than like what the batteries come with. When it came to this chassis, you didn't have the PCB. So you gave me these 2 buttons. I ended up printing this little cover right here, okay? So that will prevent any like exposed wires from showing, gives a little bit better of a look. I've got a little bit of electric tape down on the proffie board because it wasn't really snug enough in there. So I wanted that to stay in there as well. So yeah, so this was a fun build. So to turn it on, you're going to hit your kill switch, which is right here, and we're going to flick this on.
I'm sorry, Anakin, for all of it.
And so I've got the fonts in here preloaded that you already gave me. So all those fonts are in this SD card right here, and you'll see the crystal chamber is pulsing. I'm a real big fan of these eco crystal chamber chassis. I'm a real fan of any real crystal chamber chassis design, especially one that's removable like this. So yeah, so this is how you would turn on the saber with this kill switch, your activation button and your auxiliary button. So once you flick that, you're able to, you want to make sure that your chassis is lined up. So buttons up on each one. You'll just want to slide this in, okay? And it'll push right in. Once that's in, take your pommel, screw that back in, and then boom, you've got activation. Okay, so again, you got your neopixel shine through in there, and then the sound is really good with this hilt. It's got a lot of good resonance inside the hilt. And then your auxiliary button. Then a clash. Okay, so now we can turn that off. I also gave you gesture controls on this. So you got flick on. You've also got twist off. Okay, so that is that. So let's put a blade in here. Now, in order to put a blade in this particular hilt, you're going to want to unscrew your emitter cap. Now, here's the thing with this. Be careful you don't over tighten this, because if you do, it may get stuck. I think it's has to do with the way that this particular hilt was weathered, but you don't want to tighten it too much, just a little bit. Otherwise, you might need to get some vice grips like I had to do to get it to unscrew. So to change the lens clamp, you're going to unscrew that, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Here's the lens cap, and again, you can see the stock neopixel connectors right in there. You're going to take your other emitter cap, and you'll see that it's got some extra space, and that's going to give you more stability for your blade. Okay, so we're going to take this emitter cap, put it on, and then screw it on like this. So, and again, you don't want to do it too tight for risk of getting it stuck on there. So once we get that, let's see here, I've got the Allen key here, right here. So we'll grab a blade. This is a 36-inch blade. We'll slide this in, and I'm just going to tighten. You got 3 different retention screws on here, which is great for blade stability. I'm only going to tighten 1 for this video because I'm not going to swing it around too crazily. So now that our blade is attached, we'll hit the activation button. Boom! I love these things so much. So you got your proffie board with smooth swing. Again, clash. Your auxiliary button will give you blaster controls. Or if you want to do lightning block up, you can let go of that. And again, to power it off, you can either twist off or just tap that button, and then that will go off. So let's go over some of the other fonts that you wanted me to install on this for you. So that was the Ben Kenobi font from the Kenobi series. The next one is the Vader.
Where is he?
Let's light that up. So that's real fun. We'll turn that off. Next up is your Riva font. Get that one. And we'll just go through the rest of the fonts.
Just a simple wonder.
You got your Ronin.
Disgraceful.
Your Bandit.
At last we will have revenge.
And your Menace. Well, we gotta light it. This is your Darth Maul. All right, let's keep on going through your fonts.
Teensy.
So once you hear teensy, this is the start of the part of your font library, if you will, that were already included in your proffie board. And so I kept those on there. There's some different blade options for you. This is cyan.
Smooth Jedi. Smooth gray.
Got a flame blade here.
Smooth fuzz.
Another red blade.
Rogue Commander.
This is like a blue flame. Got a green.
Teensy.
Got your white blade.
Smooth Jedi.
Like a yellow strobe.
Smooth gray.
This is purple. Doesn't maybe not show up too well in the video, but a little Mace Windu action here for you.
Rogue Commander.
And your rainbow. Everybody loves a rainbow, so that's on there for you as well.
It's just Ben these days.
And when you hear go back to the Ben, just Ben, or the Ben font, you know you've made it back full circle and you're back to the beginning of your font library. So when you're done with messing around with it, just take the blade out. I'm just going to unscrew this one retention screw right there, and so you put this away right there. Okay. And so again, when you're done with it, you'll want to unscrew the pommel, and you can just slide it out a little bit if you want to keep it in, keep the chassis in, just to get to your kill switch. And then you flip that kill switch, and you can put that back in there, and your saber is good to store. If you're not going to mess with your saber for a while, even though the kill switch is off, it's always best to take your battery out. Don't leave your battery in there. So this was a really fun build, Anthony. I appreciate you asking me to build you another saber. This is probably one of my favorite canon hilts, which is Obi-Wan's hilt, and I really like what they did with the hilt with the Desert Wanderer. It is a fun hilt to have. So thanks again, and may the force be with you.